tragic incident that occurred in Blount County.
A Maryville police officer.
Yes, 3 small children.
Shot and killed in the line of duty. Tonight, we are learning about the victim and the moments leading up to the shooting.
They had responded to a call, a distress call, a man with a gun.
Also ahead, how the community's coming together to support one another as they grieve this loss.
You know, all these guys and men and women are family. They're human. You know, they put a lot on the lives.
Fox 43 News at 10 starts now. We continue our team coverage tonight of the shooting that killed a Maryville police officer. The Blount community's leaning on each other tonight as they grieve the officer's loss. He died in the line of duty while responding to a domestic violence call.
We would ask our citizens to remember this officer's family. He has 3 small children. It's a very trying time for his family. It's a trying time for the men and women of the Maryville Police Department. It's a trying time for the law enforcement of this community.
Certainly an emotional evening. The police officer was part of the narcotics unit and worked with the Maryville Police Department for several years. He has 3 young children. Authorities have not identified the officer yet. They're still notifying his next of kin. Well, tonight we have our Fox 43 team across Blount County. First, we go to anchor Aaron Wright, who joins us now with reaction following today's shooting. Aaron.
Beth, good evening. An emotional day for law enforcement across East Tennessee. This afternoon at UT Medical Center, we saw people from the FBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, and a number of municipalities all gathered in mourning. This afternoon, Sheriff James Barong and Police Chief Tony Crisp shared with us how this officer lost his life and just details into how these departments are coming together to heal and get through this. Dozens of law enforcement officers were gathered outside UT Medical Center this afternoon to support the family of the slain officer and one another during this trying time. Maryville Police Chief Tony Crisp and Blount County Sheriff James Barong explained the events leading up to the officer's death.
The perpetrator had exited the house armed with a firearm and began shooting. Unfortunately, we had an officer who's a Maryville police officer who was shot and killed.
That officer's name isn't being released at this time, but Chief Crisp wants the public to know what kind of man he was and that his loss has a powerful impact.
Remember this officer's family. He has 3 small children. It's a very trying time for his family. It's a trying time for the men and women of the Maryville Police Department. It's a trying time for the law enforcement of this community.
Again, in there you can hear just how emotional and how trying this day has been. Certainly a somber scene there at UT Medical Center earlier today. We turn now to Leslie Ackerson, who joins us from off Alcoa Trail. That intersects with Kerway Lane, where the shooting happened outside of a residence on the corner of those 2 streets. And Leslie, that area is still blocked off.
Aaron, you're right. This shooting happened around 4 p.m. and 6 hours later, law enforcement officers are still out here blocking off this road, and they're down at that residence as well, continuing to look at that crime scene. Now, a Blount County spokeswoman told me they'll be using a technique, a laser scanner technique, to survey the ground out there, and that can take some time, but hopefully that will give them a more accurate picture of how this Maryville police officer and father was killed.
We had 2 narcotics officers that was working a case in that area that were close, and they responded to the scene.
It was a domestic violence call that brought a Maryville police officer and Blount County deputy down this road.
When they arrived, shots were fired.
Shots that struck the Maryville police officer, killing him.
Right now, we'll lean on one another.
Law enforcement officers from several different units across East Tennessee, Loudoun, Anderson, Alcoa, and KPD all jumped in to assist after the tragic shooting. The Maryville officer who was killed and the other deputy are both part of a narcotics unit, comprised of 10 certified officers with 8 investigators from the sheriff's office and 1 each from Maryville and Alcoa police departments.
I was speaking to the Loudoun County officer that is out here right now working, and he says he's not even associated with that unit, but tomorrow he's going to be wearing a mourning band across his badge to stand and honor his friend, his brother in this industry that he has lost. And this is actually the 4th Maryville police officer that has been killed in the line of duty. Today is exactly 105 days since the first officer was ever killed in the Maryville Police Department. Aaron, I'll send it back to you.
Strong signs of support there. Leslie, thanks so much for that update. I want to turn now to reporter Michael Crow. Michael, we saw folks this afternoon gathering here on the other side of the Maryville Police Department trying to show some support and love this evening for law enforcement.
Yeah, it's really a terrible situation that's bringing people together. We've seen deputies from other county sheriff's offices and people from just down the street coming out to show these officers in this department that they are not alone. Just like the flag he holds, Greg LaRouche's message is simple.
I'm just out here to show the men and women who wear the uniform every day that we're here to support them. We have their back.
When he heard a Maryville police officer had been killed in the line of duty, he knew where he needed to be. Outside the police department, showing officers grieving inside that he supports them.
You know, all these guys and men and women are family. They're human. You know, they put a lot on the lives, as obviously we've seen today, that they may not make it home.
He is joined by several others, people that felt compelled to come out of their homes to hold a candle, a flag, or even just be here. Standing in solidarity, some of their offerings are as simple as a few kind words.
Yeah, if anybody's out here wants to come out and hold a candle and do a prayer vigil tonight with us as we pray over our law enforcement here in Blount County, we would greatly appreciate it.
And tomorrow they hope even more will come out at a memorial to the fallen officer.
And we want to lift them up and just come together, and that's the best thing we can do right now.
But now, as a terrible day fades to night, they hope that by standing out here, they can show anyone passing by and those inside that there is still a light.
We love them and we support them and we're here for them. That's the message.
And that memorial will be from 5 to 7 o'clock tomorrow evening at East Maryville Baptist Church. Aaron, they also tell me that donations to the officer's family are welcome, though they will also just accept prayers at that event.
And as sad as it's been today, just great to see people immediately coming together to help when they can. Michael, thank you. And Beth, that's going to do it for our coverage out here. We're going to continue to be here throughout the night, updating you online at WBIR.com as we learn more information. Reporting in Maryville, Aaron Wright, back to you.
Certainly the family and the law enforcement community in Blount County, they're going to need our prayers and support for the days to come. Thanks so much, Aaron, for the live coverage tonight. Well, 4 officers have died while serving with the Maryville Police Department, including today's shooting death. We heard Leslie speak of this, but Officer Barton Coker died from a shooting on January 2nd at 1938. And Officer John Michael Callahan II died from a vehicular assault on February 21st, 1981. The first was Marshall Henry Clemens in August 1911. Well, coming up at 10:30, we will sit down with Knoxville Police Chaplain Jerry King. We'll have his reaction to today's shooting and how he helps officers cope with tragedy. We turn now to other headlines in our news. Authorities say 2 men are charged in the killing of Xavion Dobson. The Knox County District Attorney General's office says Christopher Bassett and Richard Williams III face a 27-count indictment for the 15-year-old's shooting death. Both men face first-degree murder charges. They're also charged with several counts of attempted murder. Grand jury records show there were 8 other people in the line of fire last December. Xavion Dobson was shot while shielding friends from gunfire. We spoke to friends who were close to his family. They say it's a relief to have this breakthrough in the 8-month-old case.
A sense of relief, you know, that I guess that there was a charge. I know the family has struggled lately with, I guess, just feeling like they're in the dark, you know. So I guess the first thing that hit me was to go find Zach and make sure he was okay. And we sat down and talked about it for a while. So mixed emotions, I guess, today.
She was very spiritual right now, very prayerful, very thankful, lifting the Lord up, very emotional, but tears of joy.
Richard Williams is being held in the Knox County Jail. Christopher Bassett is in custody at the Trousdale Turner Correction Facility in Middle Tennessee. Both have a bond set at $1 million.